Welcome. High power, small size, low noise. When building a PC, we are typically forced to pick only two. But what if we could have all three? By using an external radiator, we can create a high-performing small form factor build that is completely silent. With an RTX 4090 and a 7800 X3D inside a Fractal Terra ITX case, this PC remains cool and silent even at full load with the most demanding modern games and programs. So let's build it, right here, right now, and then we'll test it. This is the Vector Network, and let's begin. The Fractal Terra is an appealing small form factor case, but has limited water cooling options in its 10.4 liter frame. By using an external radiator, the reservoir pump and fans can be moved outside to maximize space inside the case. For a top performing build, we'll use the GeForce RTX 4090 Founders Edition. We'll water cool this card with a compact 2-slot water block. We'll also use a top-performing CPU, the AMD Ryzen 7 7800X 3D. Keep in mind, the 12-core 7900X 3D only has the 3D V cache covering 6 of the cores, while all 8 cores of the 7800X 3D can utilize a 3D V cache. Also, with our external radiator, there are no thermal limits here, so any well-suited CPU can be used. The ROG Strix B650E-I motherboard has a monochromatic colorway with a black PCB and silver accents that complements the build. This ITX board also has the required power delivery, VRM thermals, and connectivity. Let's go ahead and drop the 7800X 3D CPU into the B650i motherboard. We'll then install 4 mounting posts for a water block, followed by the Noctua NA-STP G1 thermal paste guard and the Noctua NT-H2 thermal paste. For the water block, we have the Optimus Signature V3 for AMD CPUs. To secure it, we'll use 4 thumb screws and the supplied mini hex screwdriver in a crisscross pattern to apply pressure more evenly. For further details on the CPU water block, click the link at the top right corner for the full unbox and testing episode. Next, we'll use fittings from EKWB, Optimus, and Coolant. For the soft tubing, we'll use Optimus 16mm outer diameter and 10mm inner diameter compression fittings. We'll also use EKWB 45° and 90° adapters, an extension fitting, optional T-splitter, and a drain port. For quick disconnect fittings, we'll use Coolant QD3 female and male fittings, and with the optional Optimus compression fitting cover. Let's drop in 2 EKWB 90° adapters and a pair of Optimus 16x10 compression fittings. Followed by 32GB of DDR5 6400 megatransfers memory. The memory's height of 35mm is low profile and important for tube routing. For storage, we'll populate the single M.2 NVMe slot on the front of the motherboard with a 4TB Gen 4 drive. Simply put all your games from Steam on this drive and call it a day. And if more storage is needed, let's add another 4TB Gen 4 drive onto the last slot on the back of the motherboard. We can open up the Fractal Terra by taking off the top and the side panels, and then further removing the PSU bracket secured by 2 Phillips head screws, and also the GPU vertical mount bracket secured by 3 Phillips head screws. In 4 spots, let's adjust the movable spine to 5, allowing enough clearance for 3 PCI slots on the GPU side. Since all our fans will be on the external radiator, as an option, we have a fan that can provide some sort of airflow to the case. The Noctua NF-A12x15 is only 15mm thick and can be attached to the bottom underside of the Fractal Terra with 4 Phillips head screws. Next, we can drop in the motherboard and secure it with 4 Phillips head screws. To cool the RTX 4090 Founders Edition, we'll use the water-cooled Heatkiller 5 Pro water block. The water block has a modular base plate with a dual-layer inflow and symmetrical cooling design. The Heatkiller 5 Pro water block was designed to not have any of the PCB or screws visible. Together with the backplate in the same black anodized aluminum material, the cooler is designed to appear as a cohesive unit. We did a full unbox and testing of this water block. Click on the link in the top right corner or look for the link in the description for that episode. Let's drop in another pair of EKWB 90-degree adapters and two Optimus 16x10 compression fittings. On the back, we'll use a pair of Barrow slim plugs to ensure that the GPU will sit flush in the vertical mount. We'll insert the RTX 4090 into the PCIe 4.0 riser cable and secure it to the bracket with two Phillips head screws. Then we can drop the GPU with the bracket into the case and secure it with the three Phillips head screws. Loosen the movable spine to make way for the water-cooled Heatkiller PCI pass-through slot. This PCI slot allows for connecting an external radiator to our case. Two standard threads are available on both the inside and outside. Then we can slide the PCI slot pass-through bracket into the case. Then tighten the movable spine and plug the riser cable into the motherboard. For the power supply, we'll use the Corsair SF1000L. This 1000 watt SFXL power supply uses microfit PSU connectors. This is convenient for installation and cable management. Let's drop the PSU bracket on top and then secure it with 6 Phillips head screws. Flipping the PSU over, we can then plug in the motherboard 24-pin ATX cable, the CPU 8-pin cable, and the 12-volt high-power 600-watt video card cable. Then we can drop the PSU with the bracket into the case and secure it with the two Phillips head screws. For tubing, we'll use Heatkiller 16mm outer diameter and 10mm inner diameter EPDM. This matte black soft tubing is durable, flexible, and well suited for this build. The Coolant QD3 quick disconnect male and female fittings connect the Fractal Terra to the external radiator. This is convenient for maintenance and moving the PC or more. These are designed with integrated check valves to disconnect quickly and dry with leakage at approximately 0.2 milliliters as the valve closes. The fitting cap on the Optimus compression fitting is a dead-on fit for the Coolant's QDC. This provides a cleaner look and is purely optional. The black matte EPDM tubing in combination with the Optimus and Coolant's fittings provide a distinct visual and reliable functionality with flexibility that complements the build. On the outside of the pass-through bracket, let's drop in a pair of EKWB 45-degree adapters and two Coolant's QD3 quick disconnect male fittings. On the inside, we'll use another pair of EKWB 45-degree adapters, an EKWB extension fitting, and a pair of Optimus compression 16x10 fittings. Let's connect the top run, which will be the outlet on the pass-through bracket, with the EPDM 16x10 tubing to the outlet of the GPU water block. Followed by the bottom run, which is the inlet, and looping the tube around to the other side. From there, we can connect the bottom run to the inlet of the CPU water block. And then connect the last tube to the outlet of the water block. And have it loop around up top. And then have it return to the loop by connecting it to the inlet of the GPU water block. This is one of the highest performing GPU and CPU combos currently available, built with high performing parts in one of the smallest ITX cases on the market. Once attached to the external radiator, the expectation is that the build will not retain heat and will also be completely silent. Keep in mind, with the cooling capabilities of the external radiator, the 16-core 7950X3D could have easily been used in this build. While faster in multi-threaded tasks like video editing, the 8-core 7800X3D matches it in gaming, making it the sensible choice. Stay tuned as the Mora 3 Noctua 420 build is coming up right now. The external radiator build begins with the water-cooled Mora 3 420 for Noctua NF820. The Mora stands for Monster Radiator and is intended to provide maximum performance along with the highest build quality. Let's first attach a pair of acrylic clear feet to the Mora with 4 hex screws each. This radiator has 36 meters of copper piping and was designed for potentially complete silent operation. Keep in mind the fins are not as tightly packed as in typical radiators. The fins here are more spaced out to allow for high cooling performance even at low RPM fan speeds. There are 4 spots, each for the Noctua NF820 200mm fans for quiet operation and outstanding heat dissipation. The Mora has 6 standard threads, 3 on top, 1 will use as an outlet, and 3 on the bottom. 1 will use as an inlet and another as a drain port. For the pump, we're using the Aquacomputer D5 Next. This is a D5 pump with a detachable controller unit with an OLED display and water temperature sensor. This D5 pump connects via SATA power and integrates with AquaSuite, which we're using to control the custom loop. To build the water-cooled reservoir, let's start by attaching 4 silver metal struts with 4 hex screws to the bottom housing for the D5 pump. For the Aquacomputer Next D5 pump, let's first remove the controller unit. Then we can drop in the black rubber O-ring into the pump housing, followed by the D5 pump and the pump bracket, and then 8 hex screws. Then we can put back the controller unit. From here, we can slide a pair of basic mounts onto 2 of the metal struts, then drop in a clear rubber O-ring into the top of the pump housing, then drop another clear rubber O-ring into the multi-port top, and then screw in the plexiglass inlet downpipe, then place the 150mm glass reservoir tube onto the top and then place them both into the pump housing together, and secure the top to the metal struts with 4 hex screws. We can then secure the Mora 3 adapter to the unit with the 4 hex screws and metal washers. Then we can secure the unit to the Mora with another 4 hex screws and metal washers. For the fans, we have 4 Noctua NF820s. These 200mm fans are 30mm thick and have a maximum RPM of 800. We can run these fans at a silent RPM level and still receive high performance. Let's install the NF820s using 35mm radiator screws. To simplify the wiring, we use the Mora X splitter. This is ideal for our build in combination with the Mora 3 420 and the Noctua NF820 fans. Let's connect the X splitter to the attached NF820 and then connect the remaining 3 fans. Before the last fan, let's connect the Noctua extension fan 4-pin cable to the X splitter. Let's then install the Mora 3 420 Fan Grill Classic and High version for tall fans with maximum 38mm height with 4 Phillips head screws. Next, let's install a pair of Optimus 16x10 compression fittings to the top of the reservoir and the Mora. We can then install this run. The reservoir port with the downpipe is the inlet, and the port on the Mora is the outlet. From there, let's install a pair of EKWB 90-degree adapters and Optimus compression fittings to both the bottom of the reservoir and the Mora, and also a EKWB 45-degree adapter and drain port. The adapter allows for full 360-degree movement for convenience. The bottom run for the Mora will be the inlet. We'll attach the other end to a Coolant QDC quick disconnect female fitting. The bottom run for the reservoir is an outlet and where the custom loop starts. For the water flow sensor, we have the Aquacomputer Next sensor. This sensor provides coolant flow, temperature, and water quality. It has an OLED display and integrates with AquaSuite. Let's add a pair of Optimus 16x10 compression fittings to both sides of the Aquacomputer Next sensor. Then we can attach one side of the sensor to the outlet run starting from the reservoir. And then the other side, we can connect the other end to a Coolant QDC quick disconnect female fitting. And then further connect both QDC female fittings to the male fittings on the outside of the Fractal Terra. To power the D5 pump, we'll use a switch that powers a SATA cable. This switch is plugged into a surge protector. So let's connect the SATA power with the switch to the D5 pump. For the coolant, we'll use distilled water. This is water cooling. The Mora requires more than 5 liters to fill, and we'll also add Primochill liquid Utopia biocide. For the leak test, fill the reservoir and then flip the switch for the D5 pump. This small form factor build can be lifted up to help displace the bubbles. The leak test is over, so let's disconnect the QDC cables and start on the rest of the cables. Let's connect an Aquacomputer USB 2.0 internal cable to the D5 pump and connect another USB 2.0 cable to the Aquacomputer next sensor. To control the custom loop, we're using the Aquacomputer Quadro. This controller integrates with AquaSuite and will primarily control the fans on the Mora. In addition, we'll use the Aquacomputer Hubby 7. We'll plug the 3 USB 2.0 cables from the pump, sensor, and Quadro to this hub, and then connect the hub to the motherboard using only a single cable. Now let's add another switch powering the Molex connection. Once plugged, we can control both connections with one switch separate from our PSU. Let's place a Quadro on the Mora and plug in the USB 2.0 internal cable, the ambient temperature sensor, the 4 Noctua NF820s, and the Molex connection for power. Let's add the Hubby 7 and plug in the 3 USB 2.0 internal cables and the single USB 2.0 cable for the motherboard. From here, we attach the USB 2.0 cable from the Hubby 7 to one of the tube runs. An extension cable was used here for the length. Next, let's connect the 12-volt high-power cable for the video card, and then loop around the cables from the front panel connection. Then we can route the USB 2.0 cable into the open slot in the back of the case. Here, we can connect the internal USB 2.0 cable, front panel USB Type-C cable, USB Type-A cable, and the power switch. Then connect the 8-pin CPU cable. And lastly, the 24-pin ATX cable. This fully loaded Mora 3 420 Noctua NF820 unit can be moved and placed in a position suitable based on the space available. The distance of the Mora from the PC is only constrained by the length of the tubing and the USB 2.0 extension cables. The build is ready to be powered on and tested. Stay tuned as the testing is coming up right now. To obtain the results, 3D Mark Speedway stress test was run at 2 different fan and pump speeds, 40% and 100%, with ambient room temperature at 21 degrees Celsius and the benchmark averaged 100 FPS. In addition, the Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark was run with the same fan and pump speeds at 4K Ultra path tracing DLSS quality and averaged 80 FPS. For Speedway, at 40% speeds, the Noctua NF820s and the D5 pump averaged 340 and 3100 RPM respectively. The float rate averaged 122 liters per hour, and the decibel level was less than 30 as it could not be picked up by the reader. At 100% speeds, the CPU and GPU core temperatures dropped by 1 and 3 degrees Celsius respectively. However, the decibels increased to approximately 50. For Cyberpunk 2077, at 100% speeds, the fans and pump averaged 830 and 4500 RPM respectively, and the flow rate averaged 190 liters per hour. Again, at 40% fan and pump speeds, only 1 to 3 degrees Celsius of performance is lost, but the build is silent, noiseless. Sound less than 30 decibels is comparable to a whisper. Water temperature ranged between 25 and 29 degrees Celsius during the testing. So there we have it. In addition to its cooling performance, the loaded Mora 3 420 Noctua NF820 unit isn't expected to require any upgrades. Many of these parts haven't and won't change for years or decades. The Mora unit allows for water cooling in smaller cases and can also be silent while delivering high performance. Like the video by clicking the like button. If this is your first time here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. This is the Vector Network. Please click on the bell for notification when the next episode airs. Click on the links here for more videos like this, including video card and water cooling component teardowns, unboxings, and thermal testing for water-cooled PC builds. Thank you, and I'll see you at the next episode.